I threw it in the trash. Oh God, please help me, Jesus. I had to plead the blood and drink. You never want to fight a baby so bad. All is well, all is well. Alright, well I'm going to be coming out of Mark, the 15th chapter, 16 through 20.
Alright.
And I'm coming out of the King version, the King James version.
What's your name, Marcus?
Mark 15, 16.
15, 16 through 20.
Mark chapter 15, verse 16.
The soldiers led Jesus away into the palace and called together a whole company of soldiers. They put a purple robe on him, then they twisted together a crown of thorns and set it on him. And they began to call out to him, "Hail, King of the Jews!" Again and again they struck him on his head with a staff and spit on him. Falling on their knees, they paid homage to him. And when they had mocked him, they took off the purple robe and put his clothes on him. They led him out to be crucified. But if y'all can just help me real quick, the decree to put this topic into the atmosphere. Keep your mouth on me and watch what happens. So already from the beginning, Jesus had already predicted his death. He tells the 12 disciples that the Son of Man will be betrayed to the priests, the teachers, and all of the people in Jerusalem. The law will be they will hand him over to the Gentiles, who will mock him, spit on him, flog him, kill him, and in 3 days he will rise. Judas betrayed Jesus. He set him up. And they arrested him. They put a purple robe on Jesus. They twisted a crown of thorns. They sat it on his head. And then they struck him on his head. And as they began to strike him, Pastor, I could see the blood like dripping out of his head, because where the thorns are really sharp. And when something is poking into your flesh, you begin to bleed. And as he began to breathe, he didn't say anything. He kept his mouth closed the whole time. So they mocked him and they said, "All hail the King of the Jews! All hail the King of the Jews!" But tell your neighbor, keep your mouth on me and watch what happens.
Keep your mouth on me and watch what happens.
So they took the robe off of him and they put his clothes on him. And they made him carry his cross to his destination. Ooh, bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. So they made him carry his cross to his destination. They nailed his hands and his feet to the cross, causing him to bleed. People walking by saying, "That's the man that's going to tear the temple down in 3 days. That's the man that's going to tear the temple down in 3 days. Come on, man, come down and save yourself. Come on down and save yourself. If you can tear the temple down, then you can save yourself." There was 2 men that was there being crucified with him. And when you're going through the same thing as somebody else, how can you insult somebody else? You're going through the same exact thing. I like that. Go ahead. Keep your mouth on me and watch what happens. That's right. So Jesus began to say, "God, why have thou forsaken me? Why have thou forsaken me?" And that's the same thing we ask God oftentimes. God, how come you put me in this situation? Why is it that these bills can't be paid? Why is it that I'm crying every night? Why is it that everybody picked the wrong people in the church is okay, but skip the one that's crying in the back? God, why have thou forsaken me? And the man filled a sponge with wine and vinegar and put it on a stick and offered it to Jesus. And then they said, "That's enough, that's enough." And then they heard God cry out. And then they said, here comes Elijah come to take him down. With a loud voice, God breathed his last breath. And then the temple fell in 2 pieces from top to bottom. So Joseph took the body from the cross, wrapped it in linen, and placed it in the tomb. The tomb was cut out of a rock. Tell your neighbor, keep your mouth on me and watch what's going to happen.
Keep your mouth on me and watch what's going to happen.
So they put Jesus' body in the tomb, and then they rolled a stone in front of the tomb. So when Mary Magdalene and Mary went to go back to roll the stone away, there was no body there. He had already risen. So an angel came. They were studying, looking around for the angel, looking for Jesus' body, and there was an angel that appeared and said, "Don't be alarmed. He is already risen." So Jesus had died. In 3 days he rose. Tell your neighbor, keep your mouth on me and watch what's going to happen. See, Pastor, they didn't understand that I had to die in order to get where I was going.
Jesus!
I had to die in order to save these people from their sins. They didn't understand that I had to die so that people could mock me. I had to let them mock me. I had to let them talk about me. I had to keep my mouth closed. It wasn't time for me to save myself.
I like that. Go ahead.
People. It wasn't time for me to go ahead and be able to pay these bills. It wasn't time for me to stop stressing yet. It wasn't time for me to stop crying yet. But tell your neighbor, keep your mouth on me and watch what's going to happen.
Keep your mouth on me and watch what's going to happen.
I had to sit back and let people go ahead and keep picking at my temple and keep